So with Gargoyle being the best offensive cooldown of the Unholy, the idea was to min-max around it, meaning that since it scales with haste and attack power, we want to stack as much of those as possible. Comet's Tail would technically be the perfect trinket here, but with its proc chance being half of what endgame trinkets have, it would just be too unreliable to proc during the 6 seconds window of your meta gem, in which you want to resolve Gargoyle, therefore that just drops. So you just use essentially whatever endgame attack power granting trinkets you can get a hold of. Beyond that, we're using Last Word, a one-handed mace from Prof, which grants an on-hit strength buff. You can use both the heroic and normal version of it, as the buffs don't override one another, but instead stack. And with them being magic, they'll also act as trash buffs to protect things like Sacred Shield if you play with a Paladin. Furthermore, the buff increases healing received, meaning that your Paladin will have an easier time keeping you alive if you have to play defensively. And the buffs, like the Last Words buffs granting strength, is also relevant for the Gargoyle, since you can switch weapons and the buffs will persist through that. And you can have the 185 strength of a Brintroll on top of the 2 strength buffs from your Last Words. And to top it all off, besides the Unholy Strength from Fallen Crusader on your main hand, you'll have Black Magic on your offhand for another haste buff to further increase Gargoyle's damage output. The strength buffs from the Last Words as well as the haste buff from Black Magic add up to roughly a good 10% damage increase on your Gargoyle, which is insane given how hard it is already hitting.
Nask Gimbadur, Nask Thrakatuluk, Akburzumishi, Krimpadur.
What you see is
will be